Hi, this is LaRosha Royer from Tyler, Texas, and you're listening to the Next 15 podcast show with Trey North on Spreaker.com.
You're listening to The Next 15, a 15-minute podcast show for the binge listener covering random topics such as relationships, current news, and everyday life issues. My name is Trey North, and for the next 15 minutes, I hope to make you laugh, educate, and inspire you. All right, let's try this again. Welcome to the Next 15 podcast show with Trey North and Chris McAllister. We had some technical issues on the Spreaker end.
Yeah.
We could hear ourselves, but you guys could not hear us. We apologize for that. So as we are going live, please go ahead and get back in the chat room because we are interested in talking with you tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if you're just now coming in, it's Randomish Night, Randomish 107.1, since the first one was going through. Hopefully that our listeners will be able to come back in. Sometimes we have a little problems when we restart something with the same track. I had to put the same Randomish 107. What you got?
Yeah, and one more quick thing. If you're in the chat, if you're in the old chat, what you want to do is make sure that you exit out of the old chat and go into the new chat that says live.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm going to do something. I'm going to do something different. I'm going to take that one out.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, I see you, Juan. I know that you're asking if we're on. We are on. It looks like we had some technical.
Yeah.
Can't even talk. Yeah, we do got some technical difficulties trying to get on here. Let's see what we can do. I am trying my best to go into the Spreaker. I have to go into the Spreaker app and delete that. So we're gonna keep going, we might, if nobody's in here, we might start this bad boy over again.
Okay, not a problem at all.
I don't got a problem with that either.
Hey, you know what? We're here and we're live. If there is anybody listening, things like this happen, from time to time. That's how you know this is a live show. It's not pre-recorded, guys.
There's Alonzo Clack. He says he can hear us. Thank you. Hey, what up, Alonzo? All the way from DeSoto, Texas, man. He got in. We had some technical difficulties. Thank you so much for getting in and letting us know that you can hear us. I'm going to try to... There we go. Erica Vargas in. There's one. Thank y'all so much. Every now and then you get that technical difficulty on the Spreaker end.
Yeah.
I will be getting them. Let them know what's up.
There is an email coming, guys.
Okay. So, guys, since you are just now coming in, we are doing Randomish 107 tonight. This is where we actually talk about any and everything, off the cuff subjects and topics, everyday life, relationships. It could be whatever.
Yeah.
We do love the fan or listener engagement.
Right.
So this is what we love to do because we talk about stuff, but we want to hear your voice as well. So if you're tuning in, I'm Trey North, and I have my guest co-host Chris McAllister,
hey,
pastor of Life Changers Church here in the beautiful city of Austin, Texas. There you go. I see you, Jacqueline Hammett. Thank you so
Jackie.
much. Yeah. So I guess we'll just start it over. They never heard it anyway. You said you had something.
Anyway.
You had an icebreaker.
Absolutely. My icebreaker dealing with actual my Christianity was tested on this week. Yeah, pray for me, guys. I deal with issues just like you do. And so kind of to give you a backdrop of what happened, this past week, as you know, we've been dealing with the coronavirus, and I work at a pharmaceutical company, and so obviously we are essential. With that being said, I had an issue because, we have to have masks on when you come in the building, right? And that is heavily guarded. And so with that being said, we had a doctor that comes in on Monday, and in all his wisdom, he decides to come in try to come in without wearing a mask. Well, my job is to make sure that nobody gets inside the building that doesn't have a mask on, and there is no exceptions to that rule. Well, he felt like that, I treated him kind of badly because I did not let him come in the building without a mask.
Entitlement.
Yeah, a little bit, sir. A little bit. And I mean, we went back and forth for about 10 minutes, and he, said how ridiculous this is and how he felt like he was being treated or being mistreated. And I was telling him the same thing I was telling everybody else. Sir, I understand that you might be a physician. Congratulations. You can't get in this building without a mask. And then he goes further down the road and calls me a peon. For anybody that knows what the word peon means, I'm not gonna go too deep into it, but I'm not gonna lie to you, I felt like he wanted to call me something else, but that's cool too. I think that's the only thing that he could have said without it being super bad, I guess.
Super bad.
Super bad.
Super whipped.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think them hands would have got put on him at that point.
Yeah, he would have felt the Holy Ghost did, bro.
The laying of the hands.
But yeah, he calls me a peon, and literally I had to bite the bottom of my lip at that point. So anyway, the story ends, with us being in HR, and he says how horribly he was treated. Now, all this is on camera, by the way. And so he says how horribly he was treated, and then I just say, I hope you're talking about the part when you called me a peon, sir. The minute that, and he didn't deny it. So
Okay.
he didn't deny it. So he manned up on that part.
He owned it.
Yeah, he owned it. And then by the end of the story is that he's no longer allowed on the premises of my my work establishment.
Oh,
Yeah.
a doctor.
A doctor.
Wow.
Yeah. They don't play them type of games.
Oh,
And
man.
So, yeah, and they watch the footage and they
Yeah.
can see how he reacted versus my reaction. But yeah, like, how do you guys feel? Like, should I have blown up like he did? In regards to that, because again, he called me a peon. I feel like I had the right to drag his face through some form of some form of physical wall barrier, as glass, concrete, doesn't matter.
You know what, man? Yeah, you guys can chime in on the chat with your opinions on that. Personally, I would have had to really that's a test.
Yeah.
Because you got somebody who thinks they're entitled just because of they're a doctor. You know what I mean? It's just like I'm beneath you. Is that how you really view me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But am I? Because you're still not getting in this building regardless. So how much authority do you really have at this point? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I see Juan, he says, never stoop to an idiot's level.
Thank you, Juan, because I almost did, sir. I almost jumped off that ladder, sir.
Man, yeah, man. That would be something that I actually, I couldn't have done it. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think I would have held mine, but I probably would have clapped back just a little bit. You know what I mean? Just a little, just a tad.
Yeah, I wanted to, I wanted to, and I think I can't say that what stopped me in regards to not saying what I wanted to say, because I'm like everybody else. I'm not any different. I wanted to say some stuff because I sure did have some stuff on my mind I could have said.
Oh man, you always have these.
I wanted to call him Doogie Howser. I'm just playing.
Which is a great show, by the way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh man, but that is very random. What do I have?
Yeah, man. What's going on in your world?
Hey, you know what? I got one for you.
Gotcha.
When should and you guys can help me out there that are listening. When should a person start dating again after being in a long-term relationship?
Okay, what do you mean long-term?
Or, I mean, you've been in a relationship. Let's just say you were married.
That's good.
You were married, and it's been a while, and, you're finding yourself. You're soul searching, trying to, get back your identity of being single.
Okay.
And your life is changing. This sounds familiar.
Yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, I mean, when you think it's the right, as from a pastor's perspective, and I know
Okay.
you know, this is not like Christian stuff,
Yeah,
but I'm just
I got
saying,
you.
you know,
From a pastor perspective, the moment that you like, you should go back to if you decide to go back to dating, it is the moment where you feel that the connection is no longer as strong as it used to be to that other person. Now, that doesn't mean that there is no form of connection, because if you've been married for quite some time, that will take some time to get over.
Yeah.
And sometimes that takes another person to help pull you from that emotion, that emotional attachment too. So, you know, that depends on the person. I mean, and that could be a year, that could be 2 years. That depends on the person. You know, I've seen people go up to 5 years. Now, I'm going to be very honest with me. That's a long time. You know, that's a long time. But some people feel like they need to fix themselves, especially if they feel like they're the reason why the marriage didn't work. Then if you're coming from that area, then I understand. But if it was a mutual agreement, or it just, hey, you know, we got married too young and, you know, we grew apart, you know, those things, you know, the minute that you feel that, hey, you know, I've healed enough to be able to, you know, if I ever see that individual again, where that emotion is not, you know, attached to me.
Yeah.
And so at that point, you know, and sometimes it takes somebody else to
true.
be able to help push that to the side.
I agree with that. I think when you're at the point where you're not bringing baggage, emotional baggage, over into a relationship, you know, I do believe in a healing point. Because been there and done that. You know, you tried, and then you realize that maybe, you know, you kind of jumped in there too soon.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying, you know, like dating just with, you know, just jumping in all the way in, but just taking the time, being able to be, I guess, like Juan is saying, he said, be comfortable with being alone.
Right.
And I've always been comfortable being alone, so I can get that. But I think also you have to just. It depends. Like, you know, like I like what you said a while ago. You said it depends on like how you felt when you were in the relationship.
Yeah.
If it was you that did something wrong, because there could be a plethora of reasons why you're not with somebody. It might not have nothing to do with you. They could have cheated on you.
Correct.
Or, you know, and then, you know, left you, you know, out there.
Yeah.
Which goes into another issue. You know, will you be able to trust somebody again, and all this kind of stuff like that. So,
and that goes into what you just said, that emotional baggage.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to go in, you know. So I totally agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. I'll tell you what. We're going to take a commercial break, and we'll come back, and we'll continue randomish. If you guys have any questions or any comments or anything to throw at us, please go ahead. Feel free to do so. We're not opening up the podcast line right now, but we will in just a few minutes. But go ahead and type us in when we come back from the commercial. We'll read your comments, or we'll ask the comments or answer the comments. We'll see you right back on the next 15. This is Trey North. Thanks for tuning in tonight. If you're enjoying this podcast, please share with your friends right now so that they can join in on the fun. Log on to your favorite social media platform and let them know that you're listening live to the Next 15 Podcast Show. You're listening to the Next 15 Podcast Show with Trey North on Spreaker.com. Welcome back to the Next 15 Podcast Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you are just coming into the chat room or listening live from the website, we're talking randomish. Random-ish. That means it's whatever we want to talk about, because it's my show, as I always say. This is really, I'll tell you, the birth of randomish. It's when yours truly has writer's block. So it's me and my co-host Chris, and you, if you will join in and make this podcast. But it's also an opportunity for our listeners to interact with the show too. So we love it. We love your feedback. We love your questions, and we will be taking calls in just a minute. But we're gonna switch the topic now. It's on you.
Oh, it's on me.
It's on you.
Okay. I got one good
right,
one.
bet.
I got one good one. Okay, so again, everybody out there that's listening know I'm a pastor, Life Changers Church. Woo woo, what's up? But with that being said, our president did a press conference, I believe, on today
Right.
in regards to opening up churches. With the coronavirus going on, and he says that churches are essential. Absolutely, I agree. But in the statement that he said he would overrule any other of these state departments that would try to stop churches from opening up. And I wanted to get some people's opinions on that. And,
Wow.
For me, I kind of, I agree with the statement that he made that churches are essential.
Absolutely.
And people, consider their worship essential. So
Absolutely.
I 100% agree with that. That makes me feel some type of way. But I totally agree with President Trump. No, I'm just messing. Just jokes. But yeah, I totally agree with President Trump in that regard. Now, with that being said, Life Changers Church won't be opening until the first weekend of July.
You always sneak your plugs in there. By
Absolutely. You know what? You got to do it. I don't ever get a whole lot of time.
That's
anywhere.
a lie. You have your own commercial.
I'm just
I'll
saying.
mute this mic right now.
I'm just saying anywhere else. Like I don't ever get a whole lot of time, so I want to make sure that I slip it right on in. But yeah, so we won't be starting in July. But how do you guys feel out there with churches that are going back to physical services? Because I've seen some reports also with pastors
Yeah.
and churchgoers that have went back to church, have contracted the virus, and people have died in that time frame.
Absolutely.
Within 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's real
and so
talk.
that it's kind of. So what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, while we're waiting on some of our listeners to engage in that, I just want to say I agree too. I agree. I know prayer is essential.
Yes.
And my question is essential really in the beholders? is it within the beholder who deems it what is essential?
It's starting to sound like it.
That's what it sounds like it to me too.
Sounds like it to me.
But I will agree with President Trump about allowing and overthrowing the government when it comes to opening up the churches. Now, whether that's a smart move on the church is another
Right.
issue.
It's another-
But
okay.
but to stop someone from to go to church
Mm-hmm.
and exercise that faith, because a lot of us, there's a lot of Christians out there who are exercising their faith. They're not walking in fear; they're walking in precaution.
Okay.
But that is exercising your faith.
Right.
And so who are you to tell me that I can't go to the house of the Lord and worship? You know what I
Right.
mean? Just like you want to go to the barbershop, just like you want to go in the grocery store, just like you know what I mean? You
Yeah.
want to go to work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Without your mask. You're a doctor, but without your
Right,
mask.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I agree with that, I really do. I don't find anything wrong with that mentality. I applaud that. I mean, that sounds crazy, maybe to some, but let's just take,
Right.
what he's done.
Let's take emotion out of it.
Yeah, let's take the the
yeah.
emotional part of it out of it, and listen to what he's really saying. He's just saying, hey, you can go to church. The government is not about to take that away from people of faith.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so I
Right.
agree with what he says. What do you guys think out there?
Yeah, what do you guys think out there? We'd love to hear your comments there on the live chat here on Spreaker.com.
Yeah, man, that's a great topic, man. That really is.
Yeah.
Going back, it looks like Jacqueline Hammett has something going back on the first one. How long does it take?
Oh, yeah.
For you to how long should it take for you to start dating again after a relationship? She says cheating was her issue with her ex. He cheated 4 years. Friendship, 1 year relationship. We are now friends once we got over the relationship fail. Okay.
Okay.
I can move on, and him too, but we don't have a love co-section. We are friends, and I cannot place his faults on someone else. I found me. Okay.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I mean, especially, again, kind of go back to relationships real fast. Like, again, when you're talking about getting back out there, you have to know you. I think it was also Alonzo that said that you have to find yourself first, and that's absolutely correct. I agree with him on that. It's about finding yourself. Once you understand you, then you can present yourself to somebody else.
Right. Yeah. How can you sell something that you don't know how to sell?
Right. Exactly. Don't present another person to some.
Unless you're fine, you got some assets.
Non-negotiables.
Oh my God. Okay, so
awesome.
so
Okay.
I'll keep it in that relationship vein.
Yeah,
I got one.
Okay.
What are 3 relationship goals one should have while dating?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah.
Three relationship goals while dating.
Yeah, that one should have the goal. Somebody said, "Is that connection?" Did she say
Yeah, that's good. Connection.
Did she say connection?
Yeah.
I guess she's referring to that one.
Maybe.
Okay.
Let's see.
Give me your one. I'll give you one, and we'll see if
we'll see if they'll jump on.
Yeah.
Mine would have to be one relationship goal is that I would have to. I know it's kind of vain and it's kind of trivial, but can you make me laugh? Like
that's a goal.
Like yeah,
or a requirement or non-negotiable.
Yeah, that's almost a non-negotiable. I can't be with nobody that can't make me laugh.
So that's a goal, to find somebody that can make you laugh. Okay, but what about it while you're in the relationship?
Oh, you're talking. Okay.
I'm talking about while dating.
While dating.
So you're in the relationship. Obviously, she made you laugh. There was a connection there.
The goal is to get our money straight. I mean, like I gotta see how you. Yeah, can you handle money? Like, can you handle bill? Like, are you good with money management? Like the goal.
So your goal is.
My goal is to get you to the point where you can handle money. Yeah, can like the goal is to get you to the point where you can handle, I guess, instruction when it comes to money, because there's a certain way I do money.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if that works, but yeah, that's.
I don't know. I think one of my goals would be kind of on that same line. The first goal, I guess, would be the connection, I guess. But really, no. You know what? I'm gonna digress on that. I'm gonna take that back.
Okay.
I take that back. Not connection, because I'm already in the relationship.
Right.
So my goal, my first goal is to work on getting past dating, going to the next level.
Okay.
That would be my goal.
Okay.
That way, you know what I mean? Because obviously, I'm not. For me, I wouldn't want to be dating just to be dating.
Right.
I have an intent. Life is, it's too much out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not dating just to be dating for fun. You know what I mean? I'm going in with an intent, and I ain't gonna lie, an intent to marry. So
Gotcha.
So my goal is to get to that level, get to the next level, go from dating into maybe a title.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay. I see where Alonzo said trust, and trust.
He said it 3 times.
I understand, Alonzo, and so did Miss Jacqueline also said trust. So it sounds like that, their goal would be getting to the point of where they trust that individual. So you can be dating. So that lets me know that you can be dating somebody that you don't trust.
Yeah, why? But why though? Is that goes back to the original question about when you bring in extra baggage? If there's a reason, why you don't trust.
Well, I mean,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if you're dating, again, like you said, now if we're dating, right?
Yeah.
So there's not really a real title put to it. We're dating. We're figuring each other out. So in that process, I would put that trust in there too, like with them.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can trust you. I want to, that's the goal. Mm-hmm. Can I trust you? But I think the only way you can find that out is time. Unless you want to put somebody, unless you're going to purposefully put somebody in a position of predicament to see if you can trust them or not. I've heard that back in the days where some girl will have like their cousin or a friend that's pretty, that's pretty, fine, cute, whatever you want to call them, and have them run up on their boyfriend and see how the boyfriend reacts.
Oh man,
and all that kind of crazy stuff.
Tempting somebody.
Yeah, I've heard of it. And so And they was like, "Oh, I can trust you now." I'm like, "Did you set this up?" Like that.
But what if I knew you were doing that? What if I heard, or you know what I mean?
Then that's their problem, not yours. Why would you tell them? I wouldn't say a word. I would plaster it with flying colors.
Yeah, really. I don't know. That's crazy.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, what do you guys got out there? Y'all got something random y'all want to talk about? I tell you what, I will do this. Let me go ahead and open up the lines.
Okay.
Maybe y'all shy on typing. Let me see if y'all want to talk. 512-827-9164. That number is 512-80. 512-827-9164. We're getting ready to open up the phone line and see exactly what you got to talk about, what you want to talk about.
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah, y'all can put us on the spot with some tough questions. We don't mind. We don't mind.
Oh,
doing
yeah,
that.
we love it, man. I'm trying to answer as many as I possibly can.
That number again, I'm going to give it to you one more time. It's 512-827-9164 on this episode of Randomish. Let me take a commercial break and then everybody gets set up, and we're getting set it up too. And then we'll come right back and start back up with this Randomish.
Yeah. Hey, family, this is Christopher McAllister, Senior Pastor of Life Changers Church here in the great city of Austin, Texas. And I am so excited to invite you to come experience change. Yeah, that's right, a change. A change in the way you think, a change in what motivates you, or even a change in how you perceive church. So come visit us on Sunday mornings at 10:30 a.m. for an hour of power, either at our physical location at 15020 North I-35 Frontage Road, Austin, Texas, 78728, or on our website at lifechangersaustin.com. Or you can even catch us on our live stream on Facebook at LCC Austin. Yeah, that's right, LCC Austin. Isn't it about time you were a part of something different? Life Changers Church, where we're changing lives, starting with ourselves. We'll see you real soon.
You're listening to the Next 15 podcast show with Trey North right here on Spreaker.com. And we're back. Next 15 podcast show. This is Trey North with my co-host, Chris McAllister. Yo. So we've been talking about Randomish, but before we get back to that, let me give a couple of shout outs, especially to the Drip Podcast for having us last weekend on their live Facebook Zoom show.
Yeah.
It was Women Asked and Men Answered.
Yeah.
Woo, man. That was
so
about,
good.
2.5 hours?
Yeah, it was good.
It was really good. We got a chance to talk to some fellow podcasters here on the Spreaker channel. And we had a really good time. The people had some great questions, man.
Yeah.
I tell you. And you can also follow them also on Instagram at the Drip Podcast 19. You can catch their live show on the Spreaker on Saturdays at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time or 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Also want to give a shout out to the 80s Hour with Juan Alaman on Spreaker Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Central Standard and then 7 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, I believe. I hope I had that right. Yeah. And speaking of Juan, man, I just want to give a shout out. He's going to start a wrestling podcast at the beginning of June. I can't wait for that, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Cannot wait for that, my bro.
Stop baiting me, man. I already listened to
I know, man.
Stop making
And
it great,
I
brother.
would be remiss if I did not thank everybody that is listening to us live right now.
Yeah.
But I also want to give a shout out to those listeners in Ohio, Louisiana, Dallas area, also Austin, Texas, right here at home, and our international listeners in Australia, Mexico, France, Italy, United Arab Emirates, and Poland.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, we're reaching.
We've made it big time.
Where's this monetization?
Pay me. Oh, no, I'm just playing.
So we are back with Randomish after giving all those shout outs. Thank y'all for that. We love to shout out our listeners because you guys make the show. And so our lines are open at 512-827-9164. Whatever you want to talk about, you can. But yeah, so I think we did what? We only did 2 of the relationship goals.
Yeah.
Or do you want to switch it up? I know we was. Oh, I tell you what. Let's switch it.
Okay.
What are you guys out there? If anybody have seen Bad Boys,
Oh,
we were
okay.
talking about the Bad Boys.
Okay, yeah.
Which one is the best? 1, 2, or
Or
3?
3. I'm gonna go. I had said something earlier. I'm sorry. It looks like we got a call real fast.
Okay,
Sir.
hold on,
Go ahead.
hold on. Let's see. Welcome to the Next 15 podcast show. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, this is Alonzo. How you doing, man?
What up, Alonzo? How you doing, man? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from DeSoto, Texas there.
Oh man, right in the Dallas
Yeah.
area. What you got, man? You got something for us?
Hey, man. Yeah, I got something for you, man. I just want to ask, what is it going to take, man, I guess, for us to come together and bring the old family values back into the home, you know?
Come on, talk to me.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, that's what the question I got, man, you know.
okay.
What it's going to take for us, you know, for us to get a little feedback, see what it's going to take to bring the family values back into the house, you know, like everybody sitting around eating and, you know, getting together as one and instead of bickering and stuff, you know.
You know what? That's a good question, man.
That's
you know
good.
what I think? I think COVID should have already started that process. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I think it's the family values. And I'm sorry if I have to go this route, but I think it all starts with I'll say getting back to the church.
Yeah.
I mean, for me,
Yeah, you're right, man.
for me as a man of faith, I believe, you know, we got to get back into the word of God. I mean, that's just being real to hold the
Yeah.
family together. But I just
Yeah.
I think I mean, if COVID hasn't started that process, or I mean, this is a great opportunity right here,
Right.
Because you're not going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people get to see a lot of things from their family they didn't think they had. You know, like
Yeah.
enjoying the kids. Like me myself, you know, I've been sitting around enjoying my grandbabies. I'm back in the third grade again. I guess you can say that because I've been
Right.
doing third grade. I've been doing third grade work. You know, but you know, a lot of people just sit down. You know, they realize it's more fun with your family than hanging out on the streets and getting in trouble. You know.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
sir.
that's what I've been doing. I've been enjoying my life, man, you know. But that's what I wanted to say, man. I want to call and let you know your guys doing a great job, man. You know, it's my first time on, and hey, keep up the good work, man, okay?
Oh man,
man,
thank you, man.
appreciate you,
Appreciate
man.
that, Alonzo.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, y'all take it easy, okay?
All right, man. You too, man. Take care. Awesome.
That was good, man.
Awesome.
But, and that actually really is a good question.
That is a
man.
good question.
And I would have to backdoor you, man. Also with church, but also you know it starts with the parents, man. It starts with the head of the household.
Touche.
It starts with the head of the household demanding that, because that's what our parents did, and that's what their parents did. Is, you know, I remember my mom like, hey, you can't eat in your room. We're gonna eat at this table.
Right,
You know what I
together.
mean? We're gonna
Yeah.
eat at this table, so we had to sit there, even if we didn't do a whole lot of talking. We ate as a family, and I remember that even when it transitioned to us all eating as a family in the living room watching TV, you know, we used to watch Martin together. Or
Yeah.
there was a show called In Living Color.
Right.
That we, you know, even though we were a Christian household, we wanted to watch something funny together.
right.
We would do movie time with the family, which I kind of still do with my family. Now we go out as a family and watch movies, but that's something that I got from my mom and dad, where we did something together as a family, you know, and that's kind of how you keep up with what's going on with your children, and that's how your children learn from you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know what? That's a great response. Also, since we're on that, and we'll get back to the Bad Boys question, but also, what will it take? I think it will take for us to get our kids off of these cell phones and off of these video games.
Yes,
you know,
sir.
you can go out all you want, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But everybody, and when you look, just pay attention. Everybody has their cell phones, including the family, the parents.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
have their cell phones out, and really nobody's engaging. We're not having real conversations
Correct.
anymore. And so, you know, the internet is teaching our children, and you know, the cell phones, the Google has become, you know, or the YouTube has become, you know, the
Right.
parent.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're teaching our kids. So
Yeah.
I think what it's going to take is for us to, again, you know, just like you said, sit down and have a conversation. Everybody put those phones up,
Right.
and let's sit down as a family. Let's go do something and get out the house, or, you know, when we can, get out the house and do something together without the distractions. So,
Yeah. At the end of the day, it's also, like, again, teaching our kids how to think for themselves, because they get their thought process from social media now. You know, whatever they get on TikTok, whatever they see on Facebook or
Right.
Instagram or whatever may have you now, Snapchat.
Yeah.
that's where they get their thought process, man. And so they're listening and looking at people who are quote unquote Insta famous, and even my children, I see them all the time. You know, they talk like certain individuals they watch on Instagram and all that kind of stuff. I'm like, that's not even how you talk, and you don't even know the words that you speak.
But isn't it interesting how it the word social media, but when they get out here, they don't have no social skills. You can't even hold a conversation. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Right,
your mouthpiece. Right. You know, especially our sons.
Oh yeah, the boys.
Like you don't have no mouthpiece.
Right. The game hasn't changed, son.
Yeah.
Like you have to be able to talk to the ladies. You know, looking good only gets you so far, man. The minute that she finds out that you can't have a conversation, she's gonna be, you know, and vice versa for the ladies too. You know. Oh my goodness!
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's crazy. Thank you so very much.
Yeah, thank you, Alonzo.
Yeah, Alonzo, that was great.
So let's get back to the questions on. Let's see.
Oh, Bad Boys. Yes.
Yeah, Bad Boys.
Yes.
What we got on that?
So I mean, I have Andrea Clark. She says all of them are good except for 3.
What? What? Except for 3?
She says all of them but 3.
Wow.
Yep. Absolutely.
I disagree.
Yeah.
And here's why.
Okay.
I think the first 2 were the comedy action.
Right.
And I think the third brought in another genre. It brought the comedy, it brought the action, but it brought the drama.
I give you that.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I agree with that.
It brought the drama. It told a story.
Uh-huh.
Now Will Smith is no longer invincible.
Right.
Sorry,
yeah.
if you haven't seen
Bulletproof Mike.
Yeah, if you haven't. Now she says I like 3 better. Oh, now you switched the game up.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. He's not Bulletproof Mike anymore, though, as we were saying. I think it brought an interesting twist. You know, and it I think we were talking about this earlier. You were saying how they aged. You know, they didn't keep it back then.
Right.
You could, and of course you could see Martin. He's put on some weight or whatever.
I'm with you, man. I think out of the 3. The best one when it came to storyline would be, you know, Bad Boys 3. I think it because, and at that point we're older, so we understand the concept of family with Martin wanting to retire, having grandbabies,
right?
You know, and that's more important than him out here on the streets trying to clean up the streets of Miami. You know what I mean? He wants his family. And vice versa, like Mike Larry, Bulletproof Mike, starting just to really figure out what family feels like, or having somebody there that you're responsible for now. You know, even though he's a grown man and he's a killer, but but that dynamic that it brought. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to you. Still love 1 and 2. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go with 3 on that dynamic. Yeah. Erica, she said she likes number 2. 2's good too. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they were all good. I think what they did was they kept up with the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's what happened, and rightfully so.
Right.
You know, we're not gonna see little bitty Martin jumping, you know, or Big Martin jumping over
cars,
and all that kind of stuff. So
you forgot your boarding pass. Remember that from Bad Boys 1?
Yeah. And you know what got me? And again, spoiler alert if you hadn't seen it. Hopefully everybody's seen it by now. But it was like some stuff happened in that one that caught me off guard, like the chief getting killed.
Yeah, oh,
you know what I mean?
Man.
Like you didn't expect him just, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I wasn't ready for that one.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. That hit me when the chief died and he got shot up. I was like, come on, anybody but Chief. You know, you know what I did miss? They did miss a part though. Was the 2 Latino cops from 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they were like the Latino version of the Bad Boys. You know what I mean? They were they were, and so they were in 1 and 2, but they were not in 3. That's one thing I say. I feel like they missed. I was like, I was waiting on them to do their cameo somehow, some way.
You know what? And that's interesting because they did. Remember, they did the boy that was covered to pick up a prom. They got him.
He picked up his daughter. Now they getting married.
Yeah. I didn't like the fact that they took Gabrielle out of the Bad Boys. I didn't like that. I would have loved to see Gabrielle Union.
Gabrielle
because
Union one more
she's so
time.
fine.
She's too busy with Dwayne Wade, their child. Do you feel like she broke up a happy home?
If I was Dwayne Wade, I'd be like, no.
No. I don't even know. I just seen that one day on the tabloids. I don't even know the story behind it.
I don't know the story.
I just thought I would ask that question.
Okay. That was random.
That is a randomness.
Oh, man. Did you have something else?
You know what? I do.
Uh-oh.
I do. I think this is probably okay. Hear me out.
All right.
Hear me out. Is there an age limit on dating?
What do you mean? An age limit like on?
Okay, hypothetically.
Okay.
Let's go hypothetically.
Right.
Let's say 21-year-old,
Okay.
36-year-old. Is
Okay.
that
Which one is the male and which one is the female?
let's say female 21, male 36.
Oh, no. Nah. That's too young.
It's too young.
She don't know herself. You said 36
36
and 21. Nah.
21.
Nah.
No.
Depends on her financial.
Depends on what she look like every year.
She do it.
I'm sorry.
21-year-old. No. No. I would say no for me, and because I don't think me at a 36, and I'm just thinking back at my age, 30 when I was 36,
Okay.
12 years ago. When I was 36, I don't think a 21-year-old would have my mentality or where I was headed.
Gotcha.
And, you know what I mean? Like my direction and your direction. I think we were on two different buses at that
Gotcha.
point because you're just trying to find yourself. You know what I mean? I think that's a little bit too young. 21?
Gotcha.
No, because come on.
That's
how many years is that? That's 15 years.
That's 15 years.
Bro, no.
Okay, so let's say before we go any further,
right.
Miss Andrea says she think at least 5-year gap is okay. I agree with that. I'm going to be very honest. I think almost 10 years is depending on not 21. You know what I mean?
Not a 21,
Not a 21
and
and a 31. Like when I mean, and that's so crazy because that begins to drop off the older you get. So let's say if you're 31 and 41.
Okay, that's a little bit because women do mature faster than guys.
Right.
31 and 41, it really would have to depend on the female, I think, where her mental capacity is, because I still think that's a little, for me, I still think that's just a little bit, you haven't lived enough yet.
Right.
You haven't experienced.
You're still too young.
Yeah, you haven't experienced enough yet. Now, if you were in that 35, 36 area, I might consider it based on which I probably would have to look at what you've done already.
Gotcha.
Not necessarily like in a relationship, but just like where you're headed. Like, are you already a professional? Do you have your career? Is your life on track? You know, what is your track? Where you are at this point in your life?
Or are you just now going to school?
Yeah. Are you just now figuring out that you want to be a doctor or
a
you
nurse.
know, or a nurse or something like that? You know, and even then, that's a little touchy right there. You know, because that don't mean that they're not mature enough. But I mean, you know, but I feel like my age would be getting in the way.
It's like I feel like I don't want to walk into this situation with everything, and you come in with a bag.
You know, I'm laughing. Juan says you're breaking some old sugar daddy's hearts right about now.
One, you are hilarious.
If he's a sugar daddy, he's paying for it.
Yeah, he's paying for it. So the age doesn't. No, I'm just playing. Okay. Let's say one more quick thing. So you're telling me that vice versa. Let's say the same age, 21, 36. Let's say the guy's 21.
Man, you know that's a cougar. That's
And-
that's a guy's dream. Older woman.
I mean, just because it's a dream doesn't.
He ain't ready.
Like
21. Oh, he running up in that and that and that and that. Come on, man.
Right. I mean, touche. Well, maybe.
Because think about it. I'm 21. I really want a 31-year-old woman.
Absolutely not. But anyway,
No. What I'm doing is bragging.
Absolutely.
I got a cougar.
Yeah.
I've been there and done that.
Yeah. me too.
You know, my mama watches the show. My mama listens to
Straighten it up.
yeah, you know, I had It's too late now. I'm sorry, Mom.
Okay. So are we saying then that in your 20s you should be dating somebody in your 20s?
You mean a guy?
Male or female? Because again,
I think 20s. Cause come on, think about it. Think about 20. Most 20-year-olds. I mean, 20 back then or now, because most of them are still at home. I was itching to get out the house when I graduated and never came back. You dig what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, so times are different now because these kids can't even make oatmeal.
Yeah.
You know
Touché.
what I mean? But I mean, me back in the day, no, absolutely not, because, man, I was still trying to
Right.
sow the oat.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, just being honest, man, I was
playing the field.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 21, man. I ain't finna be tied down to no 31-year-old. And I look back, that's 10 years. When you 41, you know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry. Alonzo said, "Stay on the playground."
Exactly.
That's funny, Alonzo.
Yeah.
So then let's say this. So the older you get, because that's 15 years. So if you got to somebody who was 40 and the other individual was 55, that's 15 years, right?
Which one?
Let's start off with the female being 40 and the man being 55.
I'll go for it.
We see that all the time. Because guys usually date down. When they get to, they usually date down.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go 8 years for me. And it depends on the woman. Now let's be real. Okay. I know people of color.
Yeah.
We don't take care of our bodies as well. Now, for me,
Touché.
you know, if you are a nice 41, you know, and most of the 40s, you know, you still got it going on. There's some stuff here,
Right.
you know, and I'm not going to ask you to be nice 41 and I'm not a nice 50, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Come on, I'm not going to overbid.
Right.
I'm not going to overbid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can't, if I'm 300 pounds, I can't be like, you need to be
That
a
joker
size.
said overbid.
I'm just saying, some dudes they non-negotiables be just 2 up there, bro. You 300 pounds and you gonna demand that somebody's 120?
Right.
Come on, bro.
Your knees doesn't work, dude. What are you talking about?
You don't even see what shoes you have on this morning, bro. You don't even know if you got on the same sneakers.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
bro. Okay, you're right. This is overbid.
Yeah, I'm not gonna overbid, man. But if she's a nice one, of course, I think for men, I think, and I can't speak for women, but I think most older men would like a younger woman. A younger woman, and I'm not gonna say just too young, but I mean, you know. Andrew says, "Don't do it stuck in their ways."
Stuck in their ways.
That's true, though.
Touché.
That's true. When you're in your 40s and you're getting close and knocking on the door, you pretty much, it's kind of hard to change.
Yeah, can't teach an old dog new tricks.
Touche.
I mean, it depends on what food you're feeding them.
I'm done.
I'm just playing, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know. Oh man, this has been fun, bro.
Oh my God,
This has been fun. Nobody has anything else? If y'all don't, I think we will wrap it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have fun. Just
This
sitting
is
down
fun.
talking.
Randomish, guys.
Yeah. I like that. You know, Alonzo, you thank you so much. You gave me a good topic for a future show.
Yeah.
You know, what will it take to bring back the family values?
Wow.
I think that's a very pertinent question right now.
That really is.
It really is.
It's a heavy one.
Yeah. Speaking of topics, bro. You want to? The reason why this dude is because we're switching places next week.
Yes.
That's right. I am no longer a host. He's going to take over. I'm going to sit back in the cut. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to be co-host. We switching it up.
You're finna hear me lead this thing like never before. I'm just playing, guys.
What he's gonna do is have me like he has me on Sunday mornings behind the scenes.
Running with like a chicken with their head cut off. Because I have him doing a million things at the same time. But
What you got for us next week?
man, next week, listen, we're gonna have a great show. We got a great topic called "Does It Matter?"
Ooh.
You gotta be there, you gotta be here next week to find out what we're talking about, guys.
Ooh, does it matter?
I want you to think about that all week, guys. Does it matter? That's good.
That can go a lot of ways.
It can.
Oh wow. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much for joining us tonight. I know this is like what, almost 50 minutes of your life you'll never get back.
Yeah, it's fun, guys.
Does it matter? I'm still stuck on that one.
Yeah. Does it matter, guys? Think about that.
That's so vague, bro.
Absolutely.
I'm
We'll see you
scared.
next week on the next 15 podcast.
Oh man, want to thank everybody that was in the chat room tonight. Thank you so
Yes.
much for participating. Alonzo,
Absolutely.
man, thank you so much for calling in, man, with an awesome topic, man. Thank you for giving me. I'm gonna make that into an actual episode
Yeah,
here
absolutely.
real soon. And you know what, man? You know what? I'm gonna invite you, Alonzo, if you have the time, man, and we can get email me at next15podcast@gmail.com. That's next15podcast@gmail.com. Alonzo, hit me up, man, and maybe we can do a show together, man, because I would love to do something on that, man. I think so. Juan says you owe me those minutes back. Yeah, let me crush on Juan. No, there's a reason why. Before we go, he's doing me so dirty.
Oh man.
So he does his shows. He does the 80s hour with Juan Alamano on Wednesday nights, right?
Okay.
And I work I get up at 3 a.m, bro. Mm-hmm. But by the time you get up, I've already done more than you have ever dreamed of. And so his show is at 9, and I usually go to bed around 7 or 8. I'm not lying. Like, this is my bedtime right now.
Right.
And I was listening to the show, and I was participating. The next thing you know, I woke up at 3 a.m. And on his shows, he was like, "Hey, Trey, are you there? Hello?" Crickets.
Sorry, Juan.
I'm so sorry, Juan. The show was awesome, though. And by the way, I gotta plug him on this because he did a show on Dana Dane this past Wednesday.
The rapper?
Yes. Oh man.
Dana
It was
Dane?
yes, bro. It was so much information on
Dude,
Dana Dane.
Like Dana Dane never gonna let you go, Dana Dane.
Yes, Dana Dane, bro.
Oh,
it was
my
a good
goodness.
show. It's the 80s hour with Juan Alaman. He's also a Spreaker brother.
Yeah.
In the family. And I mean that show was amazing.
Oh,
If
my
you
goodness.
know who rapper Dana Dane is,
Yes.
or let's say if you don't, go listen to
Go
the
listen
show
to the
and you'll
show.
find out.
Absolutely.
An excellent show, man. Thank you so much, Juan, for doing that. That was some great content there.
Yeah.
And I didn't go to sleep.
Oh yeah.
I didn't go to sleep
on
on
that
it.
one.
I had, as a matter of fact, the one I went to sleep on, I had to go back and listen to. I saw Dana Dane first.
Okay.
When I didn't see Dana Dane, I was going to go and I accidentally scrolled and hit, and he was talking about, we're talking about Dana Dane. I was like, wait a minute, what about the other episode I missed? And I was like, I might as well listen to it now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, thank y'all so much, man, for tuning in. We're not going to hold you up any longer, but want to give a shout out to my mom, Stella B. North, who does
Hey,
the
Mom.
blog on the website, next15podcast.com, and you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook platforms at Next15Podcast. Also at www.next15podcast.com. Again, you can email me. Email us some show ideas at
yeah.
next15podcast@gmail.com. We want to thank you again. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you on the next 15.